Mudra, palms up. Take the time to get centered here, really feeling the body sink into the mat. But there's a difference between sinking into the mat and just dumping our weight. So we're relaxing and sinking into the mat at the same time we're sitting tall as to our ability. Shoulders are relaxed and down. Close your eyes. With eyes closed, inhale, bring hands to heart center. Sharing the pranava 3 times, take a breath in. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 3 times, sharing the shorter version of the Guru mantra. Take a breath in. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Exhale, release, and let's just come right into child's pose. Really opening up the hips, getting a nice extension through the ankle, opening the shoulders. Again, use any props you need, whether it's underneath your forehead, between your calf and thigh. And remember, we can always bring our hands behind us, palms up at our feet, depending on how our shoulder and neck feels today. Let's bring attention to our breath. Really feel how the belly moves against your thighs, whether your knees are open or closed, doesn't matter. Holding here, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's sit up in Vajrasana. Lift the head, lengthen the back. Use your hands for support. Inhale, draw the hands towards the body. Sitting on our heels. Hands resting lightly on the thighs. Again, it doesn't matter if your knees are apart or together for this, okay? Whatever works for you. Coming into a low squat. Now, just like we did yesterday, if your knees do not support a low squat, come into the squat that we did yesterday, where our knees and hips were at 90-degree angles. So to come into position, bring the hands in front of you to the mat, roll the toes under. As you exhale, go ahead, push back, come into either a low squat, arms extended in front of you, tuck the head. If that's not in your practice, go ahead, lift the butt up, and have your butt and knees 90-degree angle. You can still extend the arms in front of you and tuck the chin. It's all good. Hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise up. Tadasana with arms extended. Soften the knees, lift the arch, external rotation through the knees and hips. Drop the shoulders. How do we do that? Bring a little attention to the shoulder blades. Let them gently drop down the spine and towards the spine. For some of you, your hands are touching. For others, they're a little bit apart. That's all fine. Do what you can. Coming up onto our toes. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Little balance move here. Make sure you're looking at a focal point in front of you. Again, let's try and maintain that lifted arch. External rotation through the knees and hips to maintain alignment from the pelvis to the toes and pelvis through the crown of the head. Relax into it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming out, take a breath in. Exhale, release the hands. Slowly bring the hands down as we bring the heels down. Inhale, arms up. Lift the chin to look at the hands. Exhale, release the hands. Release the chin down. So while we're doing this, really think about keeping the shoulders nice and level. Try not to let them rise up to our ears. Let's do it again. Open up hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. As we do this, sometimes we have a tendency to let the rib cage come forward. Let's keep the rib cage nice and quiet. Again, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Walk to the top of your mat if you weren't already there. Same position, Tadasana. Open up the palms. Inhale, arms up. Look at your hands. Exhale, drop the shoulders. Getting ready for back bend in stages. Center yourself. Big toe, outer heel. External rotation. Feel nice and centered and solid at the pelvis. If this hurts your neck, you can have a neutral gaze, but otherwise keep looking at your hands. Inhale, let's see if we can grow tall out of the pelvis through the spine. Exhale, drop the shoulders behind you. Now, bring the shoulder blades down. Of course, some of you may be looking at your hands, but most of us are just looking at the sky. Exhale, go ahead and deepen the back bend. Lift the heart up towards the sky. Don't let go of the big toe. Coming out, inhale, come out. Stack up over your pelvis. Bend the knees. From here, swan dive down. Exhale, swan dive down. Knees are bent until you get to the bottom. As you reach the bottom, if you'd like, go ahead, straighten the knees, and feel your forward fold. You can wrap your arms behind your knees, shins, or ankle if you like. Hips over the heels. Doesn't matter if your knees are bent, ladies. Think about elongating the spine down your thighs. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come back. Bend the knees, lift the head, lengthen the back, reverse swan dive. Inhale, come up. And exhale, release. Another forward fold. Inhale, arms up. At the top, exhale, bend the knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, swan dive down. At the bottom, release the hands to the mat. If you want, straighten the knees, drop the head. Inhale, lift the head, lengthen the back up. Now, as you lengthen the back up, you Try not to allow the body to go backwards. You still want your hips over your heels. Some people call this half back or monkey back. Take a breath here. Exhale, allow the torso to come back down. Again, inhale, look up, half back. And exhale, come down. Inhale. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. One more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Bend the knees. Lift the head, lengthen back. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, come up. And exhale, release. Let's get a back bend in there. Inhale, arms up. At the top, drop the shoulders. Center yourself. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, simply release the shoulders back. Drop the shoulder blades. Feel nice and solid through the toes to the pelvis. Inhale again, grow tall. Exhale, come back. Lift the heart towards the sky. So you're lifting up and back. Inhale, come back to center. Feel that you're nicely stacked up once more over your pelvis. Now bend the knees. Exhale, swan dive down. At the bottom, hands down. Straighten the knees if you like. Inhale, half back. Exhale, come back down. Again, inhale, half back. And exhale, release down. In, half back. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale, half back. And exhale down. Place the hands on the mat on either side of your feet. If you need, please go ahead because we're going to come into a lunge here. As you inhale, step the right foot behind you, toe, and then knee. Come into a lunge. Now in this lunge, the back leg, the top of the right foot is pressing lightly against the mat. That's for stability, but also to keep your hips squared. If you can, hands can be on the mat. Try and keep a straight line from the coccyx, the last bones in the spine, through the crown of the head. So that means we don't want to round the chest. You can put a block underneath your hands if you like to help with that. As we deepen this lunge, you're going to feel a nice lengthening in that right hip flexor. Let's hold here. Breathe for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hamstring stretch. As you exhale, straighten the right knee, right foot up. Here again, as I come into position, I do my best to keep my hips squared. And my hands, if I can, they haven't moved. Try and elongate the spine over that right leg rather than hunching up, okay? Hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, return to the lunge. This time in the lunge, please check that your front knee and front ankle are at 90 degrees. Make any adjustments you need. Release the hands so that they're resting by your sides, by the hips. Open up the palms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release the shoulders down. Hands extended up. Hold here. This increases the tension over that right hip flexor, opening it up a little bit more. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat once more. Either side of your left foot, toes and fingers in line. Doing our best to keep our hands exactly where they are. Hamstring stretch. Take a breath in, and then exhale, hamstring stretch. Extending nicely over that left leg in front. Holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, let's come back to our lunge. Keep your hands exactly where they are, and let's push right up into a warrior 3. Curl the toes under at the back foot. Ready? Inhale, come up, lift the back leg, you're in warrior 3. Try and square your hips. Keep pushing out through the hips of the standing leg so you're not dumping your weight into that leg. Feel the contraction of the glutes of the back leg in the air that's holding the leg there. And exhale, right foot comes back into a forward fold. Bend the knees, reverse swan dive, come up. Exhale, release. Coming into a back bend in one inhale. Open up the palms. Inhale, arms up and back bend. Hold here, make adjustments as you need to. Go through all the physical points that we talk about. In one breath, exhale the forward fold. Ready? Take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold, pass through the points, and end up in your forward fold. Inhale, step the left foot back, feel the toe touch, and then the knee touch, and we're in a lunge here. If you can, toes and fingers are in line. Some of you will have your palms all the way down, some on your fingertips, maybe on a block. What's important is do not compromise the squareness of your hips, no matter where you put your hands. Sometimes you want to put your hands on your right thigh. That's fine too, if that's where you're at. We're just trying to slowly open up the hip joint. Let's hold here. And coming into hamstring stretch, if you can, have fingers and toes in line. As you exhale, lean back, straighten out that right knee, extend the torso over the right leg in front, and hold. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, let's come back to our lunge. Now's a good time to check alignment, ankle to knee. Hips are squared. Back leg is still active. Release the hands to your sides, lifting the torso up a little bit. Open the palms. Inhale, arms up overhead. Hands together if you can. Drop the shoulders. Nicely squared off towards the front. And hold. Feel a nice opening through the left side. 8, 7, 6, I'm counting too fast. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a breath in. Exhale, release the hands on either side of the foot once more. Hamstring stretch. Take a breath in. Exhale, shift the weight back. Straighten out that right leg. Extend the torso over the extended leg in front. And hold. Again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, let's come back to that lunge. Stepping right into a warrior 3. Curl the toe under. Inhale, step up, lift the left leg up behind you. Keep pushing out of the standing hip. And then exhale, come back to forward fold. From here, nice low. Bend the knees, extend the arms, come into a low squat. Again, whether you're halfway down or all the way down, it's all good. Hold here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, let's release the butt down. And while we're here, let's just come into a boat pose. Let's bring our hands down to the level of the knees, looking at your toes, shine the heart. Short count. This is not conditioning day. So just 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, Dandasana, arms extended up high. And release. Coming into pigeon pose, bend the left knee, slide the right leg behind you. Coming into pigeon. Again, if you need a prop underneath the left buttocks so that your hip points are both pointing down, go ahead, slide it under. Hands are either in line with our knee or slightly in front. So we really want to think about relaxing this right hip flexor that we just experienced in our lunges, but we need to relax through the front of the body too. We don't want to hold any tension in the abs or the chest, because that is what's going to allow us to have a nice long body facing forward. Hold here. Let the belly be soft as you breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, let's come down to our forearms. If it feels good, extend the arms, rest the head, forehead on the mat. Do your best to keep your hips squared down to the mat. It's okay in the beginning if you're a little bit open, but ideally we're really trying to be squared down to the mat. And putting a prop underneath the left buttocks, if this is a challenge for you, is really going to help you perfect the pose. Hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come back to the original position. Bring the hands back towards the knee. Lift the head. Lengthen the back. Inhale, lift the torso up. Keeping your back leg extended, simply roll over onto your left buttocks now. So now I am opening up. Now this is fun. Bend your right knee and let's bring it towards our body. Okay, I'm going to use about because I can't hold on with my wrist. I have to use my forearm. So you're open, okay? In this position, you're still opened. Let's see, I can do it like this. There. So my right hip is open towards the side. I'm sitting on my left buttocks. There, you can see it like this. Oh, you can also get your foot into your elbow. I forgot about that. Oh, feels good, right? Now, for some of you who have really, really great open hips, you may be able to do this when your hips are square down towards the mat. So if you want to do that, if you want to have that challenge, go ahead, come back down so that your hips are square towards the mat, and then try and bring your heel towards your butt. But ideally, you want this right hip to be on the mat. As you can see, my right hip is still floating above the mat because I don't have that kind of flexibility. But some of you might. So this is a fun challenge. Either way, it's really good. All right, to come out very gently, release the foot. Come back into our normal looking pigeon pose. Hands are on the mat. Shine the heart forward. Coming into a plank, whether you're on your wrists or forearms, just come back to plank. And now opposite side, bring the right knee forward, extend the left leg behind you, and let's come into this pigeon on this side. If you can, you come up onto your hands. Hands are in line with the front knee or slightly in front, like my hands are in front. Shine the heart. Feel a nice lengthening through the left side now. Again, you can always put a prop underneath your right buttocks. From here, as we exhale, let's come down to our forearms. You can stay here, or you can extend the arms and let the forearms. Let's hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the head. Let's slide our hands back. Lift the torso up. And then go ahead. Sit on that right buttocks. Bend the left knee, and bring it towards your buttocks. And let's hold here. Oof, it's one of the nicest ways to really get a good quadricep stretch, I think. Hold here. Now remember, if you like, you can do this with both hips down towards the mat. Again, ideally, if you do it, your left thigh is going to be resting on the mat, not up in the air like mine. But either way, as long as you feel that lengthening in the front of the thigh, that's a good thing. All right, gently release. Come back to our original pigeon position. Hands are on the mat, shining the heart. Plank. Inhale, come up to plank. Hold. Plank is a nice way to sort of let the hips come back into equilibrium. Keep pushing the heels away from you. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bring the knees down and child's pose. Coming into Vajrasana, lift the head, lengthen the back. Use your hands for support. Inhale, rise up. We're back on sitting on our heels. All right, coming into the splits. Get your block or your cushion, because this is going to support the front leg. Now, you may want support between the knee and the thigh. You may want it a little closer to the middle of your body. So, I've got my cushion in front of me. Inhale, let's stand up on our knees. Shift your weight to the right and bring your left leg in front of your cushion or block. Hands come down to the mat, probably in front of your block right now, and then slide that back leg behind you. As you slide it back, your front knee is going to extend, and you're going to come into some kind of position here. What is important here is, just like in a pigeon, I try not to have my body open to the side. This back hip flexor, I want it pointing down. Let's hold here. We can deepen it by inhaling and bringing our arms up overhead. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release the hands down near your front leg, maybe at the shin, and then exhale, forward fold. So now your hands are sliding towards the ankle. Coming out of the pose, lift the head, slide your hands back towards the middle of your body, and then literally just let yourself fall over onto the left buttocks. Bring both legs together in front of you, shake it out, and come to standing on your knees once more. Understanding that most of us have one side that is more flexible than the other, so you may have to move the position of your cushion or block. Alrighty, so this time shift the weight left, and let's bring our right leg in front. And then with the support of our hands, go ahead and slide the back leg behind, causing the front leg to extend. Oops, that's not comfortable. Kind of find out where you are. Do your best to square off your hips. And then inhale, arms up overhead. Hold here. Just relax into it. Now, what's interesting in these kinds of poses is if we have any kind of scoliosis in the back, we feel it, because we're trying to keep nice and squared through the hip points, the pelvis, and then the back. So like for me, I really feel that there's a lot of tension on my left side. So what I'm going to do is bring my hands down. Now I can square the pelvis much easier because my back is not involved. So you can kind of play with that. If you're really not able to find lengthening and relaxation with your arms up high, go ahead and release them down. Okay, forward fold. Slide the hands forward. And let's come into a forward fold. Hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, let's rise back up and take the support of your hands, and then literally just kind of let yourself fall over to the right side. Release the block and legs together and shake it out. Now, if you think that you're close to doing the splits and you can hold your weight on your hands, You might want to try and do the same thing again, but without your cushion or block. Or if you used a block, you know how we have three sides, the tall side, medium side, and short side. Maybe you want to see if you can play with it a little bit. Okay, so let's try it again. We're on our knees. Shift your weight right, step the left foot forward, hands come down, slide the back foot behind you, and let's see where we are. All right, so I'm not quite there, and I don't want to let go of my hands. So I'm going to keep my hands here for support. Hold wherever you are. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead. Just got to go over to that left buttock, bring the legs together, shake it out. Stand on your knees. This time I'm definitely going to use a block because I know my right side is not as open as my left. All right, shift the weight to the left leg, bring the right leg forward, and then just with the support of your hands, come into your position. And hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carefully kind of roll over onto your right butt, legs together, and shake it out. Legs are in front of us. Go ahead, roll back, knees to chest, hands to knees. And roll from side to side. So, before you do your splits, you noticed that we did a lot of preparatory work. We lengthened the hamstrings with our forward folds. We gave focus to the hip flexors in the front with our lunges. Then we opened up through the glutes and lateral opening up of the hip joint with the pigeons, right? Before we started the splits. So for most of us, we want to warm up the muscles that surround the hip joint before we just fall down into the splits. All right, in this position, happy baby pose. So again, happy baby pose actually is kind of a hip opener, right? You can feel it in your inner thighs. Doing our best to have our feet flat facing the sky up above. For some of you, your knees are going to be more parallel to the mat than mine, depending, if you have a more open hip than I do. So if that is the case, do your best to keep a nice right angle between hip to knee, knee to ankle, and then feet flat up towards the sky. And let's roll from side to side. Trying to keep the same distance between our feet as we go left to right. Check the position of your chin. That's a neutral position so that we can elongate through the spine and the back of the neck. I'll come to the center. Exhale, extend the knees. Nice straddle here. Again, doesn't matter if you're holding onto your big toe, your shin, or behind your thighs. Doesn't matter. Let's hold. Really feel a nice lengthening here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bring the legs together, up. Coming into a pigeon pose when we're in a supine position. Keep your right leg exactly where it is. Release your hands so that you can bend your left knee and place the left ankle on top of your, well, above your knee. So it's on the thigh, okay? Now, the right leg is extended up and I have a flexion in that right ankle. So my foot is still facing up towards the sky. In this position, you can look and see you made a little triangle. Take your left hand, put it through the triangle of your left leg. Now it's going to reach behind your right thigh. Take the right hand, hang on to the left hand behind the thigh, and bring that right leg a little bit towards you, which is going to open up your left hip. You can even use your left elbow to push the left knee away from your body as your right leg is coming towards you. Now, if you'd like a little bit more challenge, go ahead and release that right hand and grab your right toe up in the air. Keep using your left elbow to push against the left knee. And this is another way you can hold the same position here. Let's hold this for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release your hands down to the sides of your hips, palms down. Release the left leg up. Keep the left leg exactly where it is. Bend the right knee. Use your hands if you'd like to place the right ankle onto the right thigh, or left thigh, I'm sorry. Look at the triangle. Take your right hand, put it inside the triangle, hang on to the left thigh. Take your left hand, grab your right hand. Same thing here. You can bring the left leg up towards your head. At the same time, push with your right elbow against the right knee to bring that behind as the left leg comes forward. Again, for a little challenge, you can release the left hand and grab the left toe and do the same thing. What you want to be careful of is that you're not hyperextending that left knee, all right? You don't want to take the stretch into the knee joint. You should be feeling the stretch through the left hamstring and the outer right hip. Let's hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's release our hands, put them on the sides, palms down for stability. Go ahead and straighten out that right leg. If you feel nice and stable here, as you exhale, go ahead and open up into a straddle. If you feel the need to hold onto your legs or toes or thighs, go ahead. Let's hold this straddle. Let gravity do its work. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bring the legs back together. They're still facing up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the knees. Knees are bent, feet are nicely planted on the mat. Arms, inhale the arms up towards the sky, and then exhale them down behind your head, palms up. Hold here. Coming into Dandasana with our arms extended, take a breath in. As you exhale, you do a little half sit-up, extend the legs, and end up in Dandasana. And exhale, release. Okay, does everybody have either a long cushion like this or a rolled up blanket that they can put behind their back? If you don't have it, unmute yourself so I know. Because the next... Okay. Good. So, we're going to stand on our knees again. And we're going to put this cushion behind us. More or less right now, it's at my ankles or heels. It should be straight. As I exhale, I'm going to sit down on the edge of it. So my hips are up. My heels are on either side of my hips and the cushion. From here, I'm going to lay down. So just watch, because we want to make sure that your head doesn't fall off. So as you exhale, you come down. I feel my forearms, and then I come down. Okay, so for me, this is too short. So what do? I take it a little further away, and then I come down. And that's perfect. However, what do you do if you're not comfortable with your butt like mine is right now on the ground? Then you need to take a block, put that down underneath your butt, come down, and see now my total spine is supported. So see what you can do with that, okay? Once we get in position, again, you should be totally supported. There should not be any tension on the back. Extend the arms to the side, palms up to feel a little more opening in the shoulder. And there we go. Now, in the beginning, when our quadriceps are not as lengthened, we may have our knees as wide as the mat. As you get used to this position, you can close your knees and they can be touching while you're in this position. I'm going to have mine open right now. Now, if this is hurting your knees or your ankles, we can do a modification where you have your legs in just an easy seated pose or Padmasana pose. And stay here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To come out, you take your hands, palms down next to your feet or your hips. Feel that your forearms and elbows are on the mat. Tuck the chin, and then you push yourself up out of the position. That's a safe way to come up. Okay, look at your computer screen. I think most of you know what I'm talking about, but I just want to demonstrate it, and I think I'll face you so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you do need a couple of props. So we can start in Vajrasana like this. To make sure I know where my heels are, I come up on my knees, keep my knees where they are, and open up my feet on either side. Now when I sit down in between, I make sure that there is room for my thumb in between the heel and the hip. That should be free. Now, if this is not possible, again, we take our block first, put it in between. I'm even going to have my knees a little bit wide, and then I'm going to sit. Okay, this allows much less tension on the knee joint. Remember, the knee is connected to the hip. So if your hip is really tight, of course it's going to inhibit what's happening to your knee. All right, don't forget that. You don't want to put more pressure on your knee or your hip to compensate for the other joint. All right, once you're in this position, now I'm going to turn sideways. I'm going to keep the block so you can see. I take my longer cushion and I put it behind the block. Room for my thumb by the heels. Knees are more or less as wide as the mat. I come back. I feel the support on my back, and I'm supporting on my hands. As I come back, support now is on the forearms, and then I drop the head back and relax. To come out, hands come down, feel support of my forearms, tuck the chin, start curling up, put your hands on the mat. I can't do it because of my wrist, but you will be putting your hands on the mat, coming all the way up and out. Alrighty? Let's see. Shall we do it one more time together? All right. Coming to Vajrasana. Sitting on our heels. Take the weight off the heels, open up the feet, and sit down once more in between, with or without a block. Look at your knees. If you have really nice flexibility through the hips and the quads, keep your knees together. If not, open up the knees a little bit. Take that cushion, bring it behind your block. As you exhale, start coming down, support on the hands, on the forearms, and then drop the head. From here, go ahead, open up the palms, extend the arms. Yay, we're in position. See, by the third time, it's even easier. We're already feeling a nice lengthening through the hip joint and the quads. Let's come out, reverse the hands, support on the forearms, tuck the chin, and roll up. And we're out. Okay, let's get rid of all our props. Just in case you did feel some tension through the back, go ahead, roll on your back, knees to chest, hands to knees, and roll from side to side. I'll come to the middle. As you exhale, lift the head towards the knees, roll up into a little ball, drop the shoulders, take the weight into your biceps. Feel a nice lengthening and rounding from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, release the head down, release the hands, slide the legs down the mat, and let's come into Savasana. And to come out of our Savasana, let's just take note of our breath. Feel 1 or 2 breaths first. And now bring movement back to the toes and fingers, ankles and wrists. Knees and elbows. Spine, hips, shoulders, neck. And then all together, go ahead, roll over to your right side. Using the support of your hands, as you exhale, come to a seated position. Eyes are closed. Inhale, hands to heart center. Sharing the pranava together. Take a breath in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Exhale, bowing down to the teacher within. And inhale, come back up. Open the eyes. We're back.